Blog Talk Radio.
The way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. You sexy motherfuckers, this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. And I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, and so is the dog I just frightened, Mr. Mark Radulich. And joining me tonight as we review the latest from band In This Moment, Ritual de la Habitual. No, just Ritual. That was a Jane's Addiction album, Ritual de la Habitual. Anyway, we are reviewing In This Moment, Ritual. And joining me, he's actually running the comm tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The data to my Jean-Luc Picard. The Spock to my Kirk. The peanut butter to my jelly. I'm a little exhausted, everybody. Just fucking bear with it. Jesse Starcher, ladies and gentlemen, the disappointing dad, this whole intro is disappointing, the disapproving dad and host of source material in his own right. How do you do, sir?
The vinegar to your nuts, apparently.
No.
You
went there, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Mark Radulich.
I'm about to bathe in the pool.
Oh,
I'm about to dip these nuts in chlorine. That's what I'm about to do. Good old Florida chlorine.
Take it right out.
Take
it right off of there. Man, oh man,
that's right.
Boy. I'm glad to be here tonight. As I'm excited to talk about one of the. I don't know if this was a very highly anticipated album on your part, or if it was more like, oh my goodness, I'm crossing my fingers. I hope everything goes well with these guys. I know what the third man, well, the man that's missing, the man missing in action right now. I know his thoughts about it. Hopefully we'll get that later on here this evening. But I know he wasn't too excited to cover this band. So tell me a little bit about In This Moment.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Metal Hammer of Doom for a moment, okay?
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about a little bit about how the sausage is made. More importantly, how the bands are selected, how the albums are selected that we cover week to week. Now, we started going like every other week when Robert and I first started this podcast. So it really boiled down to what handful of songs, 52 weeks in a year, right?
Yep.
So what, like 26, 25 albums, because some weeks we skipped entirely, there'd be those months. There'd be those months where we were like one album, that's it, one show, and we really just boiled down the list to what did we really want to talk about. And my vision for Metal Hammer of Doom is much like my vision for Damn You Hollywood. I want to talk about the stuff that's going to be in the media. I want to talk about things that are high on the marquee. But I
Sure.
also want to talk about bands and bands really that I like. I want to expose people to certain bands. I mean, like Dying Fetus is not exactly going to be hitting up the marquee anytime soon. It isn't as though, the kids in the hall are going to be sporting their Dying Fetus and their cattle decapitation and their John Cougar concentration camp T-shirts, while they're at the Catholic school. Okay, it's not happening. But I like Dying Fetus, and so it really breaks down to 4 categories: popular, stuff I like or Robert likes to a lesser degree, gimmicky or thematic, and really 3 categories. When I did this in my head earlier, I had 4 categories, but yeah, it's So in this moment, to turn it all back around, is a very popular band. My wife and I saw them last year with Shaman's Harvest and Hell Yeah, and they've been around for quite some time. I saw them a couple of years back, actually, at the Rockstar Mayhem show, and they've got quite a following. They're very popular with the kids, and I thought this is one of those bands that fits into the category of they're popular, so we should cover them. Oh, I remember what the 4th category was now. It makes me laugh.
Ah, okay.
Hey, if it makes me laugh, we got to talk about it. Swedish or Finnish guys dressed up as dinosaurs, Nickelback.
Oh, Nickelback. From what I understand, that band right there.
Nickelback. I wouldn't give you a penny back.
Oh! Never stops being funny. People are.
So you got to intro the clip 5 times.
Yes. Hey, nickel, to be or not to be. Anyway. But yeah, so like if it makes me laugh, if it's popular, if it's part of a theme or a gimmick like Transformers, or if it's just something that Robert and I really like and really want to talk about, but no one's ever fucking heard of it before, then it's going to make it onto this show. In this moment, they're a popular band. I also happen to like them. They've had and this is why I asked you to upload this song from, I believe it's like a Star-Crossed something or other.
Yeah.
The Gun Show, because when I saw them at the Rockstar Mayhem show, In This Moment was badass. Now the girl's kind of an idiot. I mean, and I should have seen this coming, because at the Rockstar Mayhem show, she decides she's gonna walk out into the crowd, and then she's like, "Don't beat me up. I'm dainty." All right. I can sympathize with you. Yeah, I can sympathize with the idea that you don't want a gaggle full of sweaty, hot Florida men to beat you senseless. Because who does? However, then don't walk into the crowd stupid. Stay on stage.
No kidding.
It is not. It's not as if the crowd of people at the B stage at the Rockstar Mayhem show were climbing the stage to beat this woman senseless. It's not what happened. We were all just moshing, carrying on, doing what we do. Some were tossing a football, some were kicking a hacky sack. White people, and and all of us, you see, she just starts trying to get into the crowd, and it's well, don't get into the crowd if you're that fearful. You're going to get your small ass beaten up.
Yeah.
But I noticed something then, and I didn't think about it until I saw them this past year, where their sound completely changed. I believe, and I want you to keep this in mind as we listen to Ritual tonight. Think about it in terms of the Gun Show, and then think about it in terms of the entire Ritual album. That this is a band that's being pushed by the singer to pander to a more feminine, more light-wristed, limp-wristed, less aggressive alpha audience. This is a band that is pandering to the beta. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, going into this band, going into this album, I'm not familiar with anything that's come before this. So just by the way that you put it right there, I can sense exactly that. Just by some of what we're going to hear tonight feels very mainstream is the word I'm going to say right now, because that seems to be the theme, in my opinion, for most of the songs. Some of the songs are heavy, but we'll obviously get into that.
But I would say, I used a lot of words and missed the one that I should have used. Mainstream is right. I think they went for like a mainstream beta audience. Because you can find mainstream alphas out there, that listen to Limp Bizkit. It's fine. But they there's also people out there that's like, oh, I don't want it to be too aggressive, I don't, whatever. And I feel like that's what they were going for with Ritual. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's go ahead and play Gun Show just so we can do a compare and contrast.
All right, here we go.
That's badass.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's in your face, and it's metal. I watched the video shortly after I was able to find the song, and, I mean, damn, I was like, okay, this has clearly come before that. I looked at the when it was uploaded, I believe it was 2010, so this is 7 years ago when we're looking at, I assume when Gun Show or Star-Crossed, whatever, was released. So, hoo-wee. Yeah, they've got a sound. They've got a good sound right there.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that, like, they shouldn't evolve their sound or, or try and experiment new things. But, I mean, I'm pretty good at interpretation. And I think I'm dead on when, I've noticed that there's a pandering, when there's a change just to try to get that mainstream audience taking place. I'm not a mind reader or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure I know my stuff. and I know what I hear. And when I hear Ritual, I mean, I said to Robert Cooper, I'm like, this is a terrible album. And it's not so much that it's terrible in the sense that, like, oh, it's a poorly constructed album or anything like that. It's more of, this is just bland hooey. There's a lot of... Yeah. This is imminently forgettable. It's like a 90-minute, action movie where the moment the credits roll, you don't remember a fucking thing that happened in that movie. It's like you were entertained while it was on, but nothing stays with you. So let's go ahead and skip track 1 because it's just fucking ambient noise.
Dude, it's straight up like track 3 off of Halloween Hits. For when Trick or Treat rolls around, and that's pretty much track 1. That's pretty much what I equated that to. But yeah, go ahead and introduce track 2.
Okay, I'm gonna need I'm a little help from my friends here. I don't have the album in front of me. I am currently on location.
On location.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, let's go ahead and hear track 2, and track 2 is...
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. So if I were producing this album and the band came to me with that song, my first reaction would have been, even though we didn't play the whole thing, admittedly, but even if they played for me the whole song, I would have asked them, where's the rest of it?
It lacks that, where's the metal? It's not where's the beef, it's where's the metal. I mean, it's slow, it's plodding, it's not fast-paced, it's nothing compared to what we heard from Gun Show. And
it's uninteresting. Like, I don't mind slow, but do something interesting with oh Lord, dun dun, oh Lord, dun dun, oh
well,
Lord.
Now I have an opinion about this song. I believe that this one, and there's another one on here, I believe, is the most mainstream off of the album. And I'll tell you why. Okay, we all know, me and you have discussed plenty of times, that Jesse has a tween daughter. All right, she's on the cusp of 13 years old, and I get to watch I get to hear all sorts of updates from about Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale. Now it's Glee. But I'll tell you right now, Mark Radlich.
Does she have you on the Snapchat? Does she have you on the Snapchat?
Let me tell you a little something about Snapchat, my friend. Snapchat is on my phone right now. However, I don't use it because my daughter has to have the Snapchat when we're out and about. She's got to check her stuff. So I'll get on my phone, and all of a sudden I got like notifications popping off from, some guy, 46, whatever, he's sitting there, fire guns, emoji, all this other. Well, why the hell am I getting notifications on this? Please log out of it right now. But yes, I'm on the fucking Snapchat. But yeah, what will happen is I just have this, I can see that song being part of either one of those tween episodes that, those tween shows that she's watching, or the trailer. When I was talking to you guys, I was like, I've heard this song before. It's associated with another, like an advert on YouTube. I could have swore it was, but I did some research and I was incorrect. But it completely has that feel of it to me. It's I don't know. It's got that, like, someone that's a lot younger than me may end up liking this song. So I agree. It's almost kind of uninteresting. However, it wasn't enough for me to go, okay, I'm hating this album already. I was like, okay, well maybe we're going to pick things up. This is our introduction. Maybe we're going to pick things up. I'll tell you another thing just as before we go on to the next track. Her vocalization, or whatever she uses to do those vocals that she does, is very prominent throughout this album. I don't know if that's a gimmick or thing that she's done in the past. I don't think she did that at all on the gun show that we just heard. Doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds like she was screaming her ass off. She is not doing that here.
It's funny you mentioned that, and I wasn't going to say anything because I hadn't looked at the band sheet or the Wikipedia page to see if I'm right about this. But
yeah.
I feel like she just fired everybody in the band and hired a bunch of studio musicians.
I did see it was mentioned that the drummer left, but I didn't read much more into it other than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, this seems like whatever her fucking name is, the Chick Be Crazy. This seems like the Chick Be Crazy experience. Chick Be Dainty. Dainty Chick Crazy. Yeah, this just feels like she turned what was once a cohesive band into like her passion project.
Yep.
Instead of
I could feel you on
her own solo thing. She's just like, it's about me, dainty little me. Oh, shut the fuck up. I actually didn't tell you the second part of that story. So when we saw them with Shaman's Harvest and Hell Yeah, which is an interesting combination to say the least, my wife and I were really surprised because, like, my wife was somewhat familiar with them this moment. I mean, they're not her favorite band either, but she was familiar with them through me, and then they came out and they played what almost sounded like industrial music, which I was digging live. And
yeah.
they had on this, she had on this, avant-garde art show kind of thing going on, this, stage play that was part of the act. And I'm like, okay, you're taking away, I think, from the band feel, but sure, why not? Let's have fun on stage. Let's do costume changes.
Yeah, boy. We're going into Lady Gaga territory here.
Dude, I should go run into my wife's room, rub my vinegary nuts in her face, and yell, hey, remember when you called the chick from In This Moment Lady Gaga? Jesse just brought it up. But I'm not going to do that because I'm a good husband. And it's
off air.
And my
Mark,
legs hurt. And my legs hurt, and it's on the other side of the house. Anyway.
But I so would if she was in the same room.
Oh, we were at home eating vinegar nuts all day long. That's the name of my new band.
Vinegar nuts all day long.
That's why Jesse comes on this show.
Shit.
All right. So let's go. Let's move on from here. Now that I've cemented all that home, let's move on to track 3.
Black Wedding.
Are you there? Can you hear my voice? Will you hear my prayer? Are you out there? Forgive me, priest, for I have sinned. Father, I am here. I can hear your song. I can feel your tears. He's done you wrong. The temptation fed his own desire. In the ring of fire.
So, like, back in the day, like decades ago, if you went before a judge, depending on your crime, the judge might pardon you if you agreed to go into the military. They were looking for a few good men, and if you were kind of a fuck-up kid, and you agreed to go into the military, they would pardon you, drop your charges. I don't know how exactly it would work, but for the sake of this argument, we're going to call it a pardon. And, it was judge's discretion. I'm pardoning you for the greater good of you serving in the military. Okay. I'm going to pardon this song for its lameness because I like it.
Do you recognize the male vocalist?
I do not recognize the male vocalist.
Rob Halford.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gets another. That song may get another pardon. Another good mark.
Yeah. No. If I'm gonna pardon a song on this entire piece of shit album, this would be the one to do it.
Yeah. That one ain't
a lame
too bad.
concept. It's a nice night for a black wedding.
Black wedding. Yeah. Well.
Black wedding. Get it.
Yeah, it's kind of on the nose. Like, okay, I noticed that as we go through the songs here, I'm on the Wikipedia now. I don't know. I assume they're crediting Billy Idol. Billy Idol. They're crediting Billy Idol on that song because of. Obviously, the overt use of what they're doing there, because that's pretty much the crux of the whole song. But they do have him listed, so that's good, at least on the Wikipedia. But yeah, it's okay. I'll side with you if you're going to pardon it, good sir.
You're gonna vote not guilty.
Not guilty. Now, here's the thing. One song out of 13 is not going to get you out of jail free. So you have an album to represent here in this moment, and we still have another like 9 tracks or 8 tracks to go. So if we're going to pardon them there, we can't do it. We have to look at the whole thing. So
no. The album is still on trial.
No,
I'm just pardoning that song. That song can go free, and it can go free. I'm using judge's discretion to pardon that song because as goofy and as stupid as it is, Nickelback.
Oh no! Am I supposed to play the clip now?
I don't have no fucking idea what you're waiting for.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Nickelback! Nickelback! I wouldn't give you a penny back!
I can't tell you how much time and energy has been wasted on things that I find funny.
Well, the question is, though, the question really is it good, or is it, what the hell do we have that clip listed as? Where in the, oh no, wait, is it a good song, or is it
Absolute shite! Crap! Feces!
All right,
I would say
I can answer
you pardon. You can, okay, go ahead.
Well, it's not unlistenable. It's got a fun little beat to it. You know, look, White Wedding is a great song. You know, it's an iconic song. It's a song that, it's an earworm. You get it stuck in your head, it's there for days.
Mm-hmm.
They just took White Wedding and they inverted it so that it's Black Wedding and changed some of the lyrics. You know, but I mean, that's not fair because it's not exactly an exact copy of the song. They copied the chorus.
Yeah.
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 But you know, I like the piano. Being fair to Flair, I like the piano opening. You know, I like the dun 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 dun. You know, I like that little rollicking beat. It's a fun pop song. It's absolutely a pop song, but it's a fun pop song, and I'll allow it.
Okay.
It is
All right.
not unlistenable.
I'm glad to hear you say the word pop, because that really, really stuck in my mind listening to quite a few songs off of this album. And, you know, Coop mentioned this being, what did he call it, metalcore? Was that what I think
maybe.
it was some core. Art, metalcore, I think
wouldn't
is what
even
he
call
called
it that anymore.
Yeah, dude, you can't even really feel any metal, at least not what I would consider metal anyway. But now we're gonna encounter some heaviness on here, but this isn't it. What we heard earlier with it definitely isn't it, and what's coming up definitely isn't it. This next track is just.
This next track is hot garbage.
Are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right. Here is, in this moment's cover of Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
like make fake
Curly
noises because there's the real chance you would have yelled Mark as if I was really sleeping.
That's a possibility. It is a possibility. Man,
wouldn't be the first time I for real fell asleep on a podcast.
Yeah, and well, usually I can attribute that to being late. It's not late enough yet. I definitely could attribute it to the song. Because man,
that's terrible.
No, dude. No. You're. Here's the thing. You're in this moment. You have a reputation to uphold that precedes this, which I assume is having a badass, lead female singer, a metal band that can kick some ass when they want to. And you're given the opportunity to cover a fairly deep and poignant song, In the Air Tonight. And what you do is you do something that there's no metal involved in that song. There's nothing there. I put metal in the tags on this freaking episode, and I'm starting to wonder if I should have even done that. I mean, they could have done something way better. Just listen. Try harder.
All right, my phone is fighting me, but I know that somebody else did a cover of In the Air Tonight, and it was actually really good.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. I know that there's been Genesis and Phil Collins songs. I know Disturbed did one for sure. They did. What is the name of that song? I can't even remember what it's called now.
Land of Confusion.
Yes, loved that cover. I loved it.
Yeah, that's really good. You know who does In the Air Tonight? Non-Point.
Okay.
Non-Point.
I know Non-Point, but
I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I keep talking.
I was going to say I know. You're all right. I know Non-Point, but I don't think I've heard that cover.
Yeah, if you have a second, if it's not a huge pain in the ass, try to find it and we'll play it tonight. Just to show people, like, you don't have to take like a wussy song and do an even wussier version of it to put everyone to fucking sleep.
I know, dude. Just
you can play a song and give it some balls. Jesus
I'll find it here.
Christ.
We'll get it uploaded.
Yeah, that was another one where I was just like, are you guys? I remember listening to this the first time in my car, and maybe it was chemo brain, maybe it was fatigue, maybe it was, maybe it was the drugs, but I could have sworn the songs weren't finished, and they were all just bleeding into one another, and like I couldn't tell when songs were ending and when they were beginning, and this isn't that kind of an album, so. I went back and I actually started to pay attention to when the songs would like change tracks. I'm like, nope, they're just shitty. It's not me. It's not chemo brain. These are just fucking terrible.
Yeah. There's no oomph. I'm not feeling the. I don't want to get up and go. I mean, there's a couple songs so far that made me nod my head. But nothing has made me go, oh, yeah, here we go. Now this is some kick-ass shit. Nope, not here.
You're right. Down the line on this album, there's a handful of songs that are actually not so bad. But, yeah, these first couple of songs are fucking dreadful. Other than Black Wedding. Black Wedding is fun. But they could
have left the cover for I was going to say, yeah, go ahead. The cover could have lasted at least to the end or been a bonus track. Go ahead.
Yeah. They have the ambient noise from the Halloween soundtrack, from the Halloween Sounds Volume 5. Then you got Oh Lord. Then there's Black Wedding, and then we get to this piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, is this album ever gonna fucking start? All right, where are we at?
I've got Non-Point's air. I've got Non-Point's In the Air ready to go. If you want to just hear a quick comparison.
Yes, for all you people out there that say, hey, man, In the Air Tonight's not exactly a rollicking song. Go fuck yourself. Listen to this shit.
I'm going to have to double check, but I want to, there's that signature dun 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 drum. I don't even know if that was in the one that In This Moment did. I don't even remember that. It's so signature. If they left that out, that's ass. That's asinine.
Yeah, see, Knockpoint did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, they did.
I like it as it goes on.
Nice.
Yeah, give it a full listen when you have a chance. All right, let's go on to the next track. Track 5, I guess we're at.
Track 5, Joan of Arc.
This one's not
even
bad.
think you can know the difference between good and evil?
Uh-oh. Rob Zombie in the house.
You keep pushing me right to the edge, and you are sanctified. No, I'm just a man. So you blame me for everything you hate, and you rage your wars. No matter what I give you, I always take. You can crucify, you can nail me to your cross. You can find me guilty for everything you've lost. Blame me for your sins, sacrifice me, let me a martyr. I'll be your Jonah, I'll be your Jonah. You want to satisfy your hacker mind, and you want to touch my face.
So, I'm going to end this song, and I'm going to write a song called Jonah Hill.
Okay.
I'll be your Jonah, I'll be your Jonah, I'll be your Jonah Hill. Suck my dick, faggot. I'll be your Sorry.
What in the hell?
Yeah,
No.
it's a... Hang on, I
Isn't
have to explain that now, because someone's going to
Please
be like,
do.
why did he just say suck my... All right, so Jonah Hill, apparently, he was being harassed by paparazzi at some point in the past decade, and he and at a moment of anger, he told the paparazzi to suck his dick, faggot.
Oh,
and
geez.
Jim Norton made a joke about it, which I was just listening to today, so that was fresh on my mind.
Jonah, I'll be a Jonah Hill. Nice.
Suck my dick,
Very
faggot.
Nice. This song keeps with the theme, at least the majority of the theme of the album, which there's a lot of, I don't want to say anti-religious themes, but it's what's a good way of putting it? Like, she seems to put quite a bit of religion and not a criticism of religion, but how religion criticizes some others, and that seems to be a theme throughout the album, especially about, like, as we get to track 7, Witching Hour, it feels like she's playing. I don't know if she's playing a role. You mentioned how they did a play. They're a very theatrical band, I guess, when you've seen them in the past.
They are now. They weren't when I saw them at Rockstar Mayhem. They have become one.
I was going to say, I've looked at quite a few photos here just of the band, and yeah, there's, I couldn't tell if, like, it was all production, but she's got, like, these 2 lady things that are always on her side.
Yeah.
And
yep.
It's like, oh, yeah, okay, all right. But
yeah,
anyway,
I'm not kidding. My wife was like, my wife was like, I thought we were seeing In This Moment. What's Lady Gaga doing up there?
It's interesting to see how they're going, but that's the theme that I get. It's like she's making a statement here, either on religion or the fact that she's being judged in some way, either in this song or throughout the album itself. But yeah.
Well,
Joan of Arc.
Let's talk about being a martyr for whatever her reasons are. The song is about martyrdom. It's fine. I mean, in terms of, like, I don't get on a lot of bands for their themes necessarily, unless their themes are really stupid. But I mean, I'm not even like the lyric guy. You're the lyric guy. Oh, by the way, we're not doing the one gimmick I had promised for tonight, which was we were going to throw some of these songs into your little website there and figure out at what grade level these things are written at. I gotta know how much "Oh Lord" is written at. Oh Lord, what you tell me? Jonah Hill.
Well, let's take a look here. Word Counter Tool. It's wordcounttools.com. Let me see if I can find the lyrics real quick for, what was it? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord lyrics.
Oh, Lord.
In this. By the way, I'm not letting In This Moment get away with the fact that they covered a song that has their band's name in it, and I swear they did that on purpose because they've been waiting in this moment all of their lives. Oh, Lord.
Have you ever heard their cover of I believe it's 5 Minutes Alone?
No. Oh no, you wait a second. You told me about this probably close to way more than a year ago. Way more than a year ago.
You've never heard it?
Because we were talking about, I made a joke about how I wanted to spend 5 minutes alone with her, and then I think I got a coop like lambasted me because it was it was a bad decision or something. But oh Lord, you ready for this? 7th. You said 3rd. You said 3rd. You weren't giving them enough credit. It's 7th to 8th grade student level lyrics, my friend. And I'll give you one guess as to. Oh, actually, well, this doesn't surprise me. One guess as to what the most frequent word is used throughout these lyrics.
Oh.
Close. That's number 2. And Lord is number 3. This is interesting, Mark Radulich, because number 1 is me. Surprised?
Of course it is. not in the least bit. All right. We're going to take a pause for the cause here. I want you to go find, just because you need to cleanse your palate, you need to find In This Moment's cover of 5 Minutes Alone.
Okay.
No, it's I'm Broken, not 5 Minutes Alone. It's I'm Broken. You need to find their cover of I'm Broken, and I got to go beat my kids because they're supposed to be sleeping, and I can still hear my son harassing my daughter. So hang on.
Oh, alrighty. Let me see what I could do here about finding In This Moment's Broken. It's not a good idea to search in the same browser that you're hosting the show in. I've had that happen. Here we go. Broken cover. It probably is a broken cover. And I don't hear any kids crying yet. So that's good. All right. So, stop harassing him. Stop harassing her. I'll play the part of Mark Radulich right now as he's yelling at his kids. I've told you 3 times already. Now here, I'll actually do something from my own life that happened today. I'm at work, and I work at home, and the kid just busts open the door, right? Okay, and I've told them, I've been working from home for years, 5 years as a matter of fact. Since Caleb was 2, I've been telling them, don't open the door while I'm working. You can't do it. And what does he do? He busts open the door, and I'm sitting down here. I could be on the phone with a customer. I could be talking to my manager. I don't know. And then all of a sudden you hear, hey, Dad, where's my skateboard? Oh, Mark Radulich, please, for the love of Pete, at some podcast, please let me tell you the story about how my mom thought it was a brilliant idea to buy my 7-year-old boy a skateboard. Yes, a fucking board. Oh,
have you gone through the thing with your sons where they got to show everyone their pecker, or is that stage pass? Now hold on, because mine is more incidental, like, hey, pull your pants up, what are you doing? And I got to tell them like 10 times. That has actually happened in the past week, but it's not like on purpose. Here's my pecker. Hey, you dick's out. Put your dick away. Hey, buddy, put that dick away.
I almost this close came to taking a picture of my son today, because for some reason he'll go out on the back porch, and he broke off 2 branches. And what he'll do is he'll piss. His pants are down by his ankle. This is my 3-year-old, by the way, not my 7-year-old. I'd whip his ass. But he would piss, and then he'd grab these branches. He'd grab these branches and, like, shake them. And I'm like, hey, pull your pants up. All right. Well, I thought that'd be okay after the first time I reminded him. Then I'd look back over there about 30 seconds later. He's shaking these branches. His wiener's hanging out. I'm like, dude, pull your pants up. 5 minutes. He walks in the door. His pants are still by his ankles. I don't know what the problem is. Why can't you pull up your pants? What's the deal with the branches? Tell me why you're shaking the leaves.
Look, we all know that showing someone your dick is funny. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't. It's not a sexual thing. It's a comedy thing. We also know that it is described in your civil law books as lewd and lascivious behavior.
Indeed.
Or unveiling sexual organ, which is illegal. So, as funny as it is to show your dick to your friend to make him laugh or to make yourself laugh, or to disgust a relative or whatever it is you're doing, it's at some point it's just not something you can do. And if you think I'm like, oh, Radulich, I've heard you say a lot of really ridiculous things on this show. You've gone, nope, they did the same bit. And I want to say it was like Diner or some movie where, where the object was they were like working in a kitchen and the object was to catch somebody looking, and they realized before it was too late they were staring at someone's dick, which was out.
Oh my goodness!
Because that shit's funny.
Yeah. Well,
apparently my son at 3 years old has figured this out.
Oh no!
And I had to have a conversation about the line with him, because apparently today he was trying to get his sister to look at his dick.
No!
He was just like whipping it out. He was like, "Hey, Lily," and trying to get her to turn around. Like, "Oh, your dick's out." And, she like, see, it's funny.
Oh.
But I had to explain to him, like, Jonas, there's a line. If you cross it, you get in trouble, okay? If you don't start knowing where that line is, you're going to cross it in a place where I can't help you anymore. Because if you do this shit in school, there's nothing I can do. if he pulls his dick out in school, I can't be like, well, it's funny, asshole. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, you're out of excuses at that point. There's nothing you can fucking do except actually act like an adult and say, oh, okay, all right,
Nope.
well, how the hell am I going to fix this?
No, you have two choices. If the principal calls you into school and says, "Listen, we have to talk to you about your son's penis," you have two choices. You either have to just shut up, put your head and your eyes down, and listen, and just take whatever it is the principal says, or you need to pick out your dick. And you're like, it's just what we do in this family. I'm sorry, it's not a sexual thing. I do
You're
not
telling me
find
this
you
is wrong.
attractive.
Look at it. Look at it.
Don't you
Don't you judge me.
disregard
Don't you
my
pass
culture.
judgments. Oh,
Yeah,
my
don't
goodness.
you? I'll be your Joan of Arc, baby. I'll be your Jonah Hill.
Oh my goodness. I've got
I
it
really need to play
downloaded,
some
man.
music.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let's stop talking about dicks and let's talk about Pantera.
All right. The cover. Now you wanted the cover, right? You wanted In This Moment's cover of Broken, correct?
I'm broken, correct.
All right, here we go. Maybe.
Badass.
Yeah, she's changed the way she sings. And I don't know if it's because she's decided she's just going to take it easy or if she's just rather more about because she has way more range on this album than what we've heard in Gun Show and this. Because in Gun Show and in I'm Broken, clearly she's screaming, which I respect 100%. So maybe she's decided, okay, well, I'm going to tone it down and I'm going to really start to focus on my vocal range and start singing some songs. Because I feel like that's what we get more here. And talking into a 1980s corded phone also, because that's apparently how we decide to produce these vocals every once in a while. Sounds like a damn 80s phone for some reason. But yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's amazing to see where they were at that point, because that was 2011, according to what I saw here when that was loaded up. Again, we're more than 5 years out.
All right, let's go ahead and play track 6.
River of Fire.
Let it rain, oh, won't you let it rain? Let the storm rage, let the water run high. Let it rain, oh, won't you let it rain? Baptized in a river of fire. Storms here, so
it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
This is the other track that I was thinking of that will be mainstream, and if you're going to hear it on something, you're going to accidentally hear it on a commercial, or you're going to accidentally hear it promoting something on YouTube. That song is very inoffensive. I don't think it's horrible. I just think it's like, hey, it's a perfect example of what I just said. She's not screaming. She's toned it down. It's something to placate the masses more than it is to find that genre that those people that were hanging out and supported them back 5-6 years ago. So it's all right.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
but
they're getting too big.
He's nice, but he's too big. Yeah, it's just okay. I mean, it's not particularly memorable or anything. It's not the greatest track, but I don't hate it, and there's not a whole lot for me to say in terms of like, well, it sucks and here's why. Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah, I noticed as picking this apart, as I was mowing the yard today, they really rely on a lot of, that I've mentioned that weird vocalization, whether it be through an 80s phone or a megaphone, however, it just sounds electronic almost in some weird way. But anyway, they kind of play that at first, which makes it almost muted, like her vocals sort of muted, and then all of a sudden the instruments come in and they hit you with the heavy, and then they switch back and they're doing her muted vocals again. And then sometimes that muted vocalization method they use is not there, and they turn her loose. That is a very prominent it's a theme you can see throughout a lot of these songs. It starts out and then bow, and then so it just seems like that was the way that they decided to go here. So just something I noticed.
No, it's a good pickup. It's not something I noticed. It's a good pickup that you're mentioning there. I just if you're like, okay, well, he's not really saying anything. I don't have a lot to add to that other than I think I've been very clear that I prefer when she, I'm not going to make you play it, but. I'm not going to make you play it. I've made you play a couple of things tonight. I'm going to spare you having to look this other song up. But on my way into the house tonight, in between phone calls to my boss and my wife, I was listening to some old In This Moment because I was like, am I remembering the band wrong? Because I don't remember them being this shitty back in the day. Mm-hmm. And there's like a playlist of like a whole bunch of In This Moment songs on Spotify. And I was listening to one song called Whore. And she sounds really passionate. She sounds like she really means what she says, and that's the problem I have with like Joan of Arc or what was this last one? River of Blood, River of
Fire,
River of Fire, whatever.
Yes.
I'm not buying the passion. Like, I'll give you an example. You can absolutely have somebody like Tori Amos. Tori Amos is not screaming in any of her songs. Silent All These Years is not fucking Raining Blood, okay?
That's true.
I don't know how much Tori Amos you've heard, but you've heard some Slayer. And despite the fact that she covered a Slayer song, Tori Amos is not screaming her head off. But Silent All These Years, if you've never heard it, is a powerful, powerful song. It's a haunting song. And she's singing, and she sings pretty. And you can be, and that's the point that I'm trying to make, I can hear passion in someone's song based on how they're singing, and this woman just sounds fucking dead. I don't know if it's overproduced or she's so afraid to offend the Snapchat people that she's not coming across as passionate. And I'm not taking anything away from her. She may be passionate about all of these things. She may have put her heart and soul into this album. It's not coming across.
I want to read to you real quick this first paragraph from the Soundboard Reviews. They decided to review Ritual here, and man, you're not alone, Mark Radulich. Listen to this. It's a case of tragic irony that while so many bands are starting to get noticed through genuine, undeniable talent, in this moment are heading down the same path, thanks to looks and nothing else. That's not an unfair assumption either. If Maria Brink, which is our lead singer here, wasn't stuck at the front of this band and objectified to the nth degree in every promo shot, in this moment would be falling down the same hole of rock radio filler material as plenty others peddling a similar brand of drab synthetic alt metal. So they are... the big thing I think I take from that paragraph is the whole objectifying the lead singer. You mentioned how it feels like she is becoming the front or the face of this band, and I think other people were seeing it, man.
Yeah, though they may see her as being sort of an unwitting boob or dupe, in allowing herself to be objectified. No, I think she's cashing those. I think she's cashing those checks all the way to the bank.
I hear you.
I don't think she's an unwitting dupe at all. I think this was all pretty much plotted out. But let's go ahead and play. What do we have to do? Track 7?
Track 7, Witching Hour.
Superstition and fear drove them all to accuse their friends and family of consorting with the devil. Gathering around huge bonfires and repeating chants, they condemned the poor creatures to the flame. The lost souls cry out in agony as the flames grew higher and higher. Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn. This is the witching hour.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just going to go ahead and let you, please. I'm not going to be able to say anything that really can support that song because that is the absolute worst dog shit on this album. Because I can't damn In the Air Tonight because that was a Phil Collins great. It's a cover, exactly. I won't damn that. They did what they could with that, and it's arguable that they didn't do much. But that right there, what we just listened to, no. Mark Radulich.
You know what it reminded me of? Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. I used to go to the goth industrial clubs, and I used to hear like My Life with the Thrill Kill Cults and Skinny Puppy and Sister Christian, and oh gosh, what was the name of that band now? Christian something or other. Anyway, I used to listen to all these goth industrial bands, and a lot of the music was kind of like that. So I didn't think it was dog shit. it just reminded me of a style of music that this isn't supposed to be, number one. Number two, a style of music that's like 30 years old, at a minimum.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's music that Mark remembers from before I was born. I had to slide that one in there. Yeah, I mean, this fucking song, like, you know what? I've bitched about this band because I really don't like them, even though I was listening to a metal podcast, and they say, like, Maria Brink is really sweet, and I can believe that. She seems like a nice person. But at least there are other albums that I've listened to, like, at least acted like they had teeth. Or balls or something. Like, they at least acted like they had some attitude or something that at least made them, you know, dangerous. You can at least kind of somewhat put them in more of a metalcore genre. You can kind of say they're metal because you'd be like, oh, well, you know, they're kind of dangerous. Your parents will hate them. This is like fucking sad-ass techno bullshit. Sweet zombie Jesus. God, this is
Ladies
piss
and
poor.
gentlemen,
And, like,
the third chair, late to the party, but never tardy. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Cooper. Please continue, sir.
Oh, fuck. My day at work has been, like, absolute asshole. Fuck me. Like, and this album did not make it better because I was trying to listen to it on my lunch and then just going like, oh, Jesus. Like, you know, I was dreading what I knew was coming. I was like, all right, this is going to fucking blow. But, no, I was not ready for this. Because I was expecting, like, mediocre metalcore. What I got was somebody trying to expand their horizons by being, like, fucking edgy club bangers. Like seriously. Like, I feel like that's what they're going for, more of a, you know, I called their sound commercially viable in our chat. And I would say this is their biggest attempt at cutting their hair and playing Ronnie.
Well, I do believe, Jesse Starcher, that Robert Cooper has pretty much summed up this entire podcast so far. Other
He
than
has.
keep your dick in your, other than it's good to keep your dick in your pants, even if it's funny not to.
I have no idea. Yeah, fucking.
Don't worry about it. It's not worth it.
Oh no,
just
what? What? Sticking your dick in like near a goat?
No, Jesus! Why does it have? Why do you have to take it up a notch? Why can't my son just pull his dick out and that be enough for you?
Because there's a Bob Saget stand-up that's a really good. That he does that is really good. He's like, don't put your dick near that goat, Billy. It eats tin cans.
Fair enough. Duly noted.
That's why I had to take it there. But no, this fucking album is like, especially like at this point, this was the low point. Like In the Air Tonight, I love that song. And listening to this song, I was like, ugh, whatever. All right, just move along. It's like it's like when you're like a border cop. I don't know, like you're a fucking traffic cop at 4 a.m. Somebody's going 15 miles over, and you walk in and the guy's just getting head from like a crack whore, and you're like, fuck, just go, just go.
The paperwork ain't worth it.
No. And that's like that was In the Air Tonight. It was like it wasn't worth me like really having to worry about it. Like I want to remember this. And then this song showed up, and I'm just sitting there, just like when you expected to eat chocolate, but you got dark chocolate, and I hate dark chocolate. Like it's so bitter. It's like an ex-wife. So it's. So it's kind of like if you could imagine that, you expect sweetness and get bitter. Like I was expecting at least toothless metalcore. Instead, I got just toothless industrial with a little hint of EDM, which is wonderful because you know, I at least expected some okay guitar work because I've heard some of their stuff before. I'm like, all right, the guitars are okay. No, no, oh fuck. I love reading the comments like, oh my God, this band is so great. I'm like, oh, fuck you, and fuck you.
No, wait. My favorite was Mark had me pull up what was it again? It was Big Guns, or no, Gun Show, okay?
The Gun Show.
I mean, big
The Gun
guns,
Show.
that's what she's got.
I'm not going to argue. So the guy, the most popular YouTube comment for In This Moment's Gun Show. Are you ready for this? Because I was rolling. Let me pull this up here real quick. In This Moment Gun Show, most popular comment we've got, once they're done loading here, this was 2 years ago, 286 thumbs up. A message from a 42-year-old former headbanger who's been banging his head since Metallica's And Justice for All album release. To all the young headbangers who love this video and headbanging in general, take it easy on the headbanging, or you will have large and frequent chiropractic bills for neck adjustments in your future. 286 likes on the official In This Moment Century Media Records YouTube video.
Perfect.
Anyway.
My year is now set. The year has been made.
Oh, man.
This guy's my hero.
Why? Because you've been preaching that for years? You see, you listen to me, kids. Make sure you bend with the knees when you pick up change. Because you never know. You never know when it's going to get you, and then you're going to be like, oh, no, my back.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to bend at the waist, because then because if you get hit, then you're gonna either land on your head or you're end up with ass over tea kettle. You want to keep your knees slightly bent.
Center of gravity.
That's right. Make sure you have a nice strong base. All right. We just heard Wishing
Unlike
Hour.
this album, which doesn't have any fucking bass at all, it seems. Balls
no, it doesn't.
Teeth.
I was saying to Jesse, I'm like, I feel like this album was like rushed, and and like incomplete, because like it kept going. Where's
I feel
the
like
rest
somebody
of the
lost
song?
a bet.
Yeah, you did.
No. Hey, I've been saying this for years, and you guys have been like, no, Coop, it's okay. This band isn't that bad. Bullshit.
I said at the top of the podcast there are 4 categories that that lead to what we review. What me and you like, what's new and entertaining, what's gimmicky, or what makes me laugh. And this fell into the category of new and entertaining. So I'm sorry, they're a popular band, sir.
They're popular because titties.
Maybe. Biggins. All right. Speaking of which, what are we up to? Track 9?
Track 8.
Oh, God.
Track 8, Twin Flames.
What the hell was that at the end?
That was some sound effect coming out of Coop's end. Hopefully not his
Sorry, that
actual
was
end.
that was the brake on the forklift.
Perfect.
I love it.
All right, so we talked earlier about how a lot of this album lacks any kind of passion. I compared it to, say, something like Tori Amos, where, her songs like, Silent All These Years, or Cornflake Girl, you can hear the passion in her voice, and she's not screaming, she's singing. This one, at least she was awake. There was a glimpse of the old In This Moment in there. Not enough to really make me buy in totally, but not from what I heard. But at least, but it would be unfair of me to say, this album is completely bereft of any kind of passion when you can clearly hear it in that song.
Sure. And it's the most fucking metal thing I've ever heard all year. Give me a fucking break. Go play your shit on Tween Pop Radio, Twin Flames. Seriously, that right there is something I bet you I could hear my daughter saying, "Hey, have you heard this song? You want to hear this song?"
Wait, are you yelling at me? Are you yelling at me, Jesse Starcher?
I'm not yelling at you. No. Can you? I'm passionate myself, Mark Radulich. I don't like this song. I don't think it belongs. I don't think it belongs on this album.
This sounds like a drunk woman trying to do Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday.
Okay.
Okay.
My legitimate criticism is the fact that it just doesn't feel metal enough. That's the only thing I can really say. I do agree with you. I can see where she's definitely got some feeling in here. There's passion. That's okay, but this is supposed to be. I thought these guys were a metal band, a metalcore band. What was metalcore about what we just listened to?
It was commercially viable.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah, this song is wholly underwhelming.
Not a fan.
Yeah. I will go ahead and second underwhelming. All right, track 9.
Oh, hey, popular topic. Trans deity. Half God, half devil.
Oh, I thought we were going somewhere else.
Is that the most metal song on this album?
It is. It legitimately is. It's one of the better songs, I think.
I mean, sure. It's I've noticed that their music, like this album, like I know we've talked before about like repetitious lyrics, but it's like they get on a theme and they're just like, yeah, half God, half devil. I'll say it every other spray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have we ran their lyrics through the thingy yet?
I
We've
was
done it with
just
one.
gonna say, Jesse, you know what to do.
Yeah, I'll find it. Give me just a moment. You guys go ahead and discuss, or
In this moment?
actually take some guesses. What do you think the most frequent word will be? What's your bet on
Half.
the? What's your bet? What's your bet on how much? What the grade level is for reading here?
4.
I'm staying with 3rd grade.
All right. Well, let's take a look.
Maybe 6.
Find out.
6 is
The first one we
my
did-
ceiling.
When we did this for Oh Lord, it was 7th grade, which I could not believe.
Yeah. Give me a moment. We're finding some good lyrics here. I gotta find some stuff I can copy and paste in there for Pete's sake. Here we go. Hey, oh my gosh, man. You aren't kidding about how many times they say half God, half devil. Jeez. Word counter, don't fail me now. Tell me what we got. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Readability level, 5th to 6th grade.
Woo!
Our this is kind of strange. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, number one word used, half, 34 times. And believe it or not, God and devil are used exactly half of that, 17 times. Because it's half God, half
because
devil.
this is half God, half devil. Yeah.
Yes,
Waka
indeed.
waka.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Kumbaya. Oh, Lord.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, we are some silly people. All right.
Oh, God, this album is like a shart.
All right. Let's move on to the next. Let's just keep barreling through this. We got like 2 or 3 more songs to go. So
we got two left. We got three. So number 10. Song number 10 is No Me Importa.
Maybe I'm sick inside. I'm definitely out of my mind. I know there's something not quite right. Disconnect, system over. Don't fly from your side of the glass. And you can't compute, you can't do the math. And you're flying down with your remote control. But I already know that there's a flaw in my code. And you choose as you silently studying me. And the consequences that you cannot see. And you ask yourself, how did I hold? What's the simple truth is that I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't Tell me how am I functioning? You back together one more time. I'm gotta sing, gotta push and bring me back alive. You start to panic when you realize you try to shut me down when you look in my eyes. No matter how hard you try and rewire me, I psychoanalyze my psychology. I don't
all right.
Forklift sounds.
All right. Who's the Wookiee loose? There's a Wookiee on the loose.
That sounds horrifying.
Put your Wookiee away.
Oh goodness.
Wow. If this is gonna keep up, I'm gonna insist that Jesse do his podcast with his kids all around and his wife while she's cooking. I'm gonna have my kids out. While my wife's cooking, and that way we can have all the ambient noise.
Sorry, I forgot I had y'all on speaker. I was putting up 16-foot boards, and guess how much room they give me? 17 feet. It's a 17-foot aisle with a 16-foot board.
That's a tight fit,
I wish that
baby.
I wish that was a sexual euphemism.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's oh no, that sounds like that sounds like Goldilocks and Daddy Bear decided to get just right.
One of my favorite things is
bestiality?
No. Catching, every once in a while, Coop gets caught up in some crazy stuff on Facebook. Can you explain to me what's going on with you and the Filipino women?
Okay, so I have a coworker, Adam. Who is like autismo. He's got the Asperger's, but he has an obsession with like Asian women.
Okay.
And so I left my phone up playing fucking Bloodbath last night and got called away to somewhere else. So one of my coworkers decided to come on by and help himself to my Facebook and decided to fuck with Adam. And he decided to fuck with him and be like, yeah, I'm seeing an Asian woman of my own. Just because. Yeah, and I was like, God damn it, Ian. Like, I wasn't even mad. I was just like, son of a bitch. I was
really hoping there was like a dating site involved and somebody grabbed your phone and like was, swiping left on a bunch of Asian women or whatever. However that goes.
Well, it's swipe right.
Swipe right. Okay, thank you.
Can I admit that even though I don't want anything bad to ever happen to Robert Cooper because I love him like a brother, but I was kind of hoping the story would end with, and then I found out she had an Adam's apple.
Oh!
Hey, it could be like my last date where we had a second date, walked around the mall, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm letting you know, like I like you, like you're cool, but this isn't long term." I was like,
Oh God.
Well, she explained that. She explained that she's trying to get into, like, she's working in local government and she's wanting to move up to state level at least. So it's going to require her moving. I was like, oh, okay.
And your
that gave me the
I work at fucking Lowe's. They have Lowe's in the state capital. It's fine.
Yeah, well, she was like, don't worry, you got stuff you have to do too, right? Like, get out of Lowe's. I'm like, well, yeah, but right now I'm trying to work on writing. I'm trying to, at least while I'm working my shitty job, at least, like, do something that I enjoy.
I would have loved for Coop to said, okay, well, I understand. I guess I got to bang you quick then. All right, so let's just work up below.
Dude, I didn't even get a hug out of either date.
Ouch. Well, and it's funny.
Dude,
it's not long term, and it ain't moving fast. They call that moving nowhere.
You need to date a whore.
I don't even have her home number. I don't even have her phone number.
Let me say it again. Robert Cooper, you need to date a whore.
Oh, God. Can you imagine those podcasts? Can you imagine that podcast when I find out?
Yes. Here's how this podcast goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Metal Hammer of Doom. Hey, did you get laid this weekend, Robert? Yes, I did. Great. Let's go listen to some music.
Well, if she's a whore, she's going to be sleeping with other people too, Mark Radlich.
No, stupid. The whole point of dating... Oh, my God. Why do I have to explain this to you? The whole point of dating a whore is that she'll put out with you on the first date, see? That doesn't necessarily...
Oh, see, I could... But that means she puts out for everybody on the first date.
So who cares?
I don't want to stick my dick in the community Kool-Aid.
Didn't you learn anything from Steel Panther?
Well, yeah. I mean, she's on the rag.
No, dummy. The community, what was it? Community pool? Community...
community property.
Community
property.
Community property. Come on now. There you go.
The song deserves a writing award.
Absolutely. All right, move this fucking podcast.
I mean, she mows the lawn, so that
We're
means it's good.
Hey.
we're moving into my witching hour here.
Uh-oh.
I love that. Oh, God. You know, there's such a better fucking song by Venom with the same title.
What? Was
Great.
number 11 here? Roots or No Me Importa?
Fucking Witching Hour. Like, when I was
No,
like,
but
Witching
there's a
Hour, I'm
better
like,
song
oh,
by-
fuck you. Venom did it so much better.
Yes, and there's also a better Sepultura song called Roots. Let's just get the fuck on with it.
Number 11, Roots.
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
Thank you for all the lives you've led. I thank you for every word you said. I thank you for walking your line. I thank you for the promises you wrote. I was watching while I slept. I thank you for teaching me. Yes, I thank you for
Thank God it's over. Thank God it's over. Thank God, thank God, thank God it's over.
Yeah, that sounds like what most women say after a date with me.
Oh, no.
Can I
You
point
poor
out?
bastard.
I'd like to point out that I'm not going to say that they're unoriginal, but I will point out
Because that's
that
obvious.
there are at least 4 songs on here that clearly may have better halves. Let me explain that a little bit better. Black Wedding. What are we immediately comparing it with, Mark Radulich? White Wedding?
They fucking sampled White Wedding. They fucking sampled it. The fucking chorus is the same.
We immediately go to In the Air Tonight, which is a direct cover. And then we have Witching Hour, which, as you guys said, there's a better song called Witching Hour by Venom. And then we have Roots, which there is a better song by Sepultura called Roots. So, and I just want to, real quick, we didn't say anything about number 10. I think that I'm going to give them negative marks for trying to do some kind of weird-ass technology theme and some kind of fucked-up love song. All right? You get negative marks for doing that, especially if you're a metal band.
It's like they watched Her.
Yes. Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give my final thoughts on the album.
We do have. Hold on.
And then,
we do have one more song, Mark Radulich.
Do we?
Yes,
oh,
it is.
Okay.
It is number 12, and it is what I termed as the Nope song of the night. So you just let me know if it is.
Oh.
All right.
No. Let's not delay this. Please give me my Nope moment.
Here it comes. Lay your gun down. It's your turn, Mark Radulich.
Oh, nope.
There is no. You want to talk about
Negative.
Toothless? Toothless. That song right there. Lay Your Gun Down is the. I thought In the Air Tonight would have been a great sleeper to put everybody, right to night time at the end of the song, at the end of the album. But no, apparently they had other ideas.
We went from the gun show to Lay Your Guns Down in only 7 years. Perfect.
Oh, that is representative of what your band has become. The gun show, Lay Your Guns Down, ladies and gentlemen. In this moment, would like to say, lay your guns down.
All right. Is it unlistenable? Not to me, but it's unmemorable. It's not. It's just blah. They're clearly going for a mainstream audience, and there doesn't seem to be. It's not inspired. That's the word I was looking for. It's uninspired. I give this. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a C-. You know, I know. I tend to grade high. Someone pointed it out to me at work today. They were like, "You are the least restrictive person." They're like, everybody else that I work with like throws everybody on suicide watch, and I'm like, nah, they're fine.
Well, you know what? That's because we don't want any like greens. You know, was it greens? You know, you don't get into Harvard on that.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him a C-. I mean, it's not a poorly constructed album. It's just not a great album. It's not an interesting album. It's not an inspired album. I kind of feel bad. You know, I see what this girl is trying to do, but I don't think she's going about it the right way, and I think it's affecting the music.
All right. Well, I'm looking at a review right now. And, of course, we got an ad playing. Isn't that wonderful? TeamRock.com reviewed this. And the first sentence it says, radically changing your sound and image can be the kiss of death for any band. Well, I didn't know what came before this. In this moment's ritual, I had no idea what came before this. This is their 5th album, I think you guys said.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
But the couple songs that Mark Radulich had played tonight for us, Gun Show, I'm Broken, that cover. These guys kicked some ass at one point. At least they sounded like they could. The potential was there in the past, but something's happened. Something's changed. And other than a few songs on this album, I do find it very, very radio friendly. If somebody, the bulk of it, I should say, if somebody wanted to put this on an ad or put it on a commercial, or this is at the end of a Walking Dead episode, I have no idea, but I could see it happening. All right, I could see them picking something off of here.
All right. Hey, listen. I'm gonna do me a favor. I'm gonna go ahead and say next week we're gonna be reviewing for real, not for play. Unleash the Archers Apex. We were supposed to review it earlier in the summer when I was having one of my nights off when I was at a concert, but Robert Cooper was working and Jesse Starcher had projectile leprosy and I wasn't there, so none of it happened. This week's release on the schedule that I thought was worth a shit was Shaman's Harvest, but I wouldn't necessarily call them a metal band. So, I mean, they're as metal as Jackal were, and we reviewed them anyway. But nonetheless, I'm using this week to catch up on a band that Robert Cooper really wanted to review. So we're going to review Unleash the Archers, Apex, next Wednesday. Go back in the archive, check out all of our other shows. Guys, I'm going to take off for the night. I'm going to let Jesse and Robert Cooper shut the show down for me, okay?
All right, man. See you later.
Bye, Mark.
Bye.
All right. So, yeah, I just, when you go in there and you change everything over to what we hear tonight on Ritual, it's got to be tough for those fans that really, really dug these guys in the beginning and how hardcore I hate giving an album a thumbs down, so I don't think I can in this particular instance, just because there are a couple, maybe 2 or 3 that I didn't find distasteful. I thought they were okay, but there was a lot in there that I didn't like. But I will give it a thumbs up because because there's still there's enough in there, I guess, to make me say, okay, I like that song. If I listen to that song again, I'm not going to change the station. I'll suffer through it, or I'll enjoy it. Maybe I'll nod my head a couple times. So there we go. I turn it over to you, Robert Cooper.
Oh, fuck. So, yeah, this album, I really didn't like the band, but it was more because I just felt they were kind of more of a gimmick. Yeah, I know, I don't want to come off as, slut-shaming and saying that, the fact she dresses scantily clad does bring a lot of more male demographic. But, I mean, to be fair, they do have a large female demographic, though, what I've seen. I just really feel like this was just a misstep. This was them really trying to do something different, and in doing something different, I mean becoming wholly commercial, which is not necessarily a sin if you do it right. I mean,
sure.
I still maintain that Load and Reload were 2 good half albums. Just not great by themselves. Well, I mean, still better than some other attempts by other bands. Risk was not great. Not a great album. But yeah, overall, for this album, fucking 1.5 stars if we're lucky. Because that In the Air Tonight cover was inoffensive and kind of sort of hit the mark. This album is just fucking sad. Quite frankly, this really feels like they're trying. They want to be big and popular and reach a wider audience and stuff, but not feeling it in terms of a metal release. Just wholly disappointing from a band I don't even like one bit. But quite frankly, I feel like they're doing a disservice to their fans and to themselves by trying to be something they're not.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not a great metal band. They're not they're not like a band like Testament that I fucking really adore. But seriously, why are they even kidding themselves? This album is overall, I think it has the problem of, in movies they say don't reference movies that are better than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're either have the same name, they covered it, or they're sampling things that are better than this album. They're reminding us that Rob Zombie exists.
Yes, dude. Absolutely. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how their sound may evolve and if we want to get more of that. Did you know? I know I've already said this on the podcast, but I'm bringing it up to you, Robert Cooper, because you were not on here. But the male vocalist, along with her in Black Wedding, was Rob Halford. So,
really?
Yeah. And
the worst thing he's been involved with since T.
It's so funny. I'm looking at this Team Rock review that it says, in fact, Ritual feels like it's been created as a soundtrack to In This Moment's eye-popping Lady Gaga meets Rob Zombie. I mean, yes, that's what it feels like. Okay. All right, you ready for plugs, homie?
Yeah, mind if I go first?
Absolutely, go for it, man.
Cool, because I'm working and this fucking blows. Yeah, so there's this podcast. I'm on it. It's pretty cool. I'm off next Wednesday, so I'll definitely be here for Unleash the Archers.
Oh, man, I am excited for that album.
From a poorly constructed female-fronted band to a well-constructed female-fronted band.
Absolutely.
And quite frankly, I would take Brittany Slays of Unleash the Archers over Maria Brink, but I like brunettes more. Anywho, so yeah. Fuck, I got the wrong scanner. Hold on. I'm talking to myself now. There's this podcast, Centaur Rider Podcast, which I've still not released anything or posted anything or watched anything. It exists. So, Facebook.com/Centaur Rider Podcast. It's SENTARIDER Podcast. Finally, W2Mnet.com. My buddy Sean Garmer. It's his site. He runs it. They do a lot of wrestling stuff. I'm trying to keep caught up on the G1 and failing. Night 7 just happened. I'm on Night 4.
Wow.
So much wrestling, dude. So much wrestling. Like, it's 5 matches that are tournament matches.
Yeah,
so it's like
I've seen where he's been uploading coverage of that, because we do that here on the network as well. And I was like, geez, criminy, the thing is still going on.
It's 18 nights.
That's insanity, man. Insanity.
And some people watch the whole 3-hour show because they watch the tag matches that are like kind of the build up for the next night.
Oh wow. Well,
yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. So yeah, like W2Mnet.com, I occasionally write there. John's a good dude. He posts our stuff. We post his stuff. It's good. It's cool. It's good news.
Okay. Well, anything else, man?
Well, that's it for me.
All right. Well, I'm glad you got on here. We're able to make it in the last death throes of this album. And I'm glad you got to. I'm glad you got to get on here.
To just summarize the utter mediocrity of this album.
Yes. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, first off and foremost, go give that Radulich in Broadcasting Network. That's the Radulich in Broadcasting Network Facebook page. I like to stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. Just recently, this past Monday, Mark Radulich was not able to make it on, but me and Ronnie Adams did source material, and we talked about Sergeant Rock Between Hell and a Hard Place. This is all military all the time week here on Radulich and Broadcasting Network, and we kicked it off.
So what was in this moment? Was it militaristically awful?
It did not fit, like, almost like 17-foot boards in a 16-foot space. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, you were listening to that.
I did. I heard it. But yeah, Sergeant Rock Between Hell and a Hard Place. That was a great book. Me and Ronnie Adams. Get this, Coop. Me and Ronnie Adams, we did the most musical. We should have done this on tonight's episode, but hey, that's all right. But we did the most musical source material to date. We had 5 chapters, and between each chapter, Mark was supposed to be involved, but he was able to contribute some music as well. But me, Ronnie, and Mark chose war-related songs to put in between as mood music to transition us between chapters. That was pretty cool. You want to know who I picked? I took, clearly, if I told you World War II, I need a good song for World War II, and who would you, first band that pops into your mind that would give you a good metal song for World War II?
Sabaton.
All right, yes, sir. I took Sabaton. I think it was a song off of Heroes. Can't remember which. To Hell and Back. I took To Hell and Back from Sabaton. And the next one was a song called Anti-Tank Dead Armor. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
No.
Bolt Thrower. Some Bolt Thrower. So those are my 2 picks. Yeah, I know, man. Such a great band. But yeah, we would kind of fit those in there in between our chapter summaries. But that was a lot of fun. Folks, go get that a check out. It's about 2 hours long. And it was a great story, too. I'm really, like I told Mark, I was upset that he wasn't able to join in. He had to bail out that night. But we, on Tuesday, did a Damn You Hollywood review. It looks like it was Robert Winfrey. Andrew Graham joined in. Super fan Andrew Graham. And I think Mark had the opportunity to talk about Dunkirk. So, yes, again. And tomorrow, TV Party Tonight, I believe Andrew Graham is going to be part of that one as well. TV Party Tonight is going to be on 5 Came Back. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Next week, source material, we're talking. I personally believe that we could possibly pin next week as Strong Leading Ladies Week, but a lot of it revolves around Charlize Theron. So I don't know how much I could possibly get away with that, because on source material we're talking Dakota City, which is apparently the book that the movie Atomic Blonde is based off of. And then Damn You Hollywood's coming at you with a review of, get this, Atomic Blonde. Of course, we got Unleashed the Archers.
Shit.
No shit. And then on Thursday, On Trial brings you The Italian Job. So, ladies and gentlemen, check that out.
Oh, the
Apparently,
remake?
yeah, 2003. So
I've got it on DVD, unfortunately.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I really don't. So
I haven't seen it in like 10 years, 15 years probably.
You can follow me at Stiznarkey on Twitter, also at SourceMattCast is the Source Material Twitter. I think it's time to get out of here. I want to thank Robert Cooper. I want to thank the departed Mark Radulich, who shall be back here tomorrow, I imagine. And I want to thank all our listeners out there on this lovely evening. See, I love how I got a stall to find the outro music, and the problem is, what is it called? Do you remember? I assume it's
Hammer
like
of
Hammer
Doom
of Doom.
outro.
There it is. See, stalling a little bit. I want to thank everybody for being out there. As Mark Radulich says, I'm going to try and get this right, so slow down. Be well, be safe,
Be safe.
and behave.
Behave.